I was half listening to a client drone on during a Zoom call when my phone lit up. Tara, hey, just so you know, I'm at Nick's. His mentor passed. Don't be jealous. I froze. That last line punched harder than anything else. Don't be jealous? That was a weird-ass thing to throw in there. 2 years together, and she knew exactly how I felt about Nick. Her ex she swore she barely talked to anymore. And now she's at his house? Quick note, before listening, share which city or country you're watching from. I muted the call and stared at her message, reading it 3 times. My chest got tight, but I didn't react. Not yet. I typed back. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. What happened to him? She didn't reply right away. I kept the meeting going on autopilot, nodding, pretending to pay attention. 5 minutes later, she answered. Tara, heart attack, I think. It's all really sad. He was like a second father to Nick. I didn't push further. I just said, that's awful. Let me know if you need anything. But something about it was off. I knew of the guy, Mr. Delaney, retired science teacher. Tara had brought him up a few times, mostly because Nick wouldn't shut up about him. If he died suddenly, there'd be something online. I opened Facebook, searched his name. Nothing. Not a single RIP post. No local news blurbs. Not even a comment thread in any of the old alumni groups I found. Checked obituaries next. Zip. It was weird. Not impossible, but weird. A guy like that, well-loved teacher, longtime community guy. There'd be some noise, but there was nothing. No mention of a death. No grief posts from Nick. No sad Instagram story from Tara. And Nick was always online. Maybe the death hadn't been announced yet. Maybe. But I didn't buy it. I went back through old texts and found the address Tara had once sent me when she dropped off something at Mr. Delaney's house. I pulled it up on Google Maps. Quiet neighborhood in Bay Shore. I wasn't gonna accuse her. Not yet. I needed facts. So I opened a flower delivery site and ordered a bouquet, white lilies, sympathy card attached, addressed to the Delaney family. It'd be delivered within the hour. If the guy was really dead, they'd appreciate the gesture. If not, well, we'd find out real quick. About 2 hours later, I was cleaning out my inbox at work when my phone rang. Unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. Then it rang again. Same number. Then again. By the 4th time, I picked up. Is this Mike? The guy asked. Older voice, sharp but confused. Yeah. Who's this? This is Mr. Delaney. I just got a flower delivery here. Said something about condolences for my death. I stood up straight. You're Mr. Delaney? Last I checked, he said. Unless I missed something. I felt a hot wave roll through my chest. Sir, I'm sorry. I was told you passed away. I'm really sorry. Who told you that? I shouldn't say. It was a mistake. He was quiet for a second. Well, I'd like to know who thinks I'm dead. I already called my son. He's trying to figure out what the hell's going on. I hung up before I said too much. 30 seconds later, my phone blew up. Nick, 3 missed calls, 2 voicemails, then a text. Dude, WTF did you do? Why are you sending sympathy flowers to my dad? Call me RN. I let him sweat a little. Then I texted back. I was told he died. Didn't mean any harm. 2 seconds later, Tara called. I answered. Her voice was tight. What did you do? You tell me. I sent flowers to a man you said was dead. He's very much alive. Oh my God, she said, fake breathless. No, Mike. I didn't say it was Mr. Delaney. It was Nick's uncle. His uncle passed. He lives in Ohio or something. Ohio or something? I said. You said you were at Nick's house. I was going to go there, but plans changed. Nick was upset. He called me about it and I got confused. I paused. What's the uncle's name? What name? What was the uncle's name? She stammered. I don't remember. We weren't close. You sent me a text saying you were at Nick's house, Tara. I meant to say I was talking to him. You said not to be jealous. She went quiet. Then the call dropped. I stared at my phone for a second, then shut my laptop, grabbed my keys, and walked out of the office without telling anyone. I wasn't angry. I was done. By the time I pulled into our apartment lot, her car was already there. I walked in. She was on the couch in leggings and one of my hoodies, curled up like nothing happened. Remote in hand. No makeup. Barefoot. Like she'd just had a hard day. She looked up and blinked fast. Mike, I can explain. I held up a hand. Where were you last night? Her lips quivered. I wasn't at Nick's, okay? I didn't go. I felt guilty even thinking about it. I went out with Kelsey and Dana instead. Last-minute girls' night. I didn't want to upset you. I stared her down. You told me you were at Nick's house because someone died. That's not guilt. That's a full-ass lie. I panicked, she shouted. You always get weird when I talk to Nick. I didn't know how to explain it. So you made up a death? No. He did lose someone. I just didn't remember the details. I grabbed my jacket off the back of the dining chair. What did you eat? What? Girls' night. What did you eat? I think we got sushi, no wait, Mexican. Kelsey picked. No. Dana picked the place. Get out. Her whole face dropped. Mike, wait, please. I said get out. She stood, her whole body shaking, but not with sadness, with shock, like she couldn't believe this wasn't working. She walked toward the bedroom, probably to grab her stuff, and I followed close behind. She was moving slow, waiting to see if I'd cave. I didn't. She pulled together her bag and a hoodie, then paused at the door. You really gonna end this over one bad night? No, I said. I'm ending it because you lied and then kept lying when you got caught. That's not one night. That's who you are. She tried to say something else, but I opened the door and stood aside. She walked out, turned back one last time, eyes glassy. You're making a mistake. I shut the door in her face, locked it. Then I grabbed my phone and started backing up every message, every voicemail, every screenshot. I had a feeling this wasn't over. About 10 minutes after I locked the door behind her, the texts started coming in. Tara, I didn't mean to lie. I panicked. Can we just talk? Face to face. Please. You're throwing away everything over a misunderstanding. You think you're so perfect? You're not. You've been cold for months. Wow. I can't believe I wasted 2 years on you. She switched gears every few minutes. Remorse, gaslighting, guilt tripping. It was like watching a slot machine of emotional manipulation. I didn't reply once. By midnight, her mom started calling. Linda, straight to voicemail the first 3 times. Then a 4th. Then she left a message. Mike, this is Linda. I don't know what's going on, but Tara is a mess. You need to grow up and talk to her. She told me you threw her out over a text. That's heartless. You're better than this. At least I thought you were. I put my phone on Do Not Disturb and tossed it on the couch. My whole body was buzzing, like I'd been drinking battery acid. I wasn't even mad anymore. I was just disgusted. Around 2 in the morning, I checked my DMs out of habit. That's when I saw it. Jenna C. Profile pic matched Nick's girlfriend. I opened it. Hey, I'm Jenna. I know this is random, but I think we should talk. It's about Tara. I'm not trying to stir drama. I just think you deserve to know. I replied, talk how? She sent back, coffee tomorrow? I'll drive to you. I don't want this over text. We met up at a little diner off Montauk Highway the next afternoon. She showed up in jeans and a hoodie, hair in a bun, no makeup, no fake smiles. I sat down across from her. So, let's hear it. She sighed. They've been seeing each other since at least May. Tara told Nick she needed closure, that she had feelings to work through. I didn't even know they were meeting until I found screenshots on his iPad. I clenched my jaw. How many times? I don't know all the details, but the night she told you his mentor died, she was with him. They slept together. My stomach dropped, but I didn't flinch. You sure? She nodded and opened her phone, scrolled through her photos, then handed it to me. There they were, Tara and Nick at his place, timestamped. One of them hugging on the couch, another with her sitting on his lap, a blurry mirror selfie in his bathroom. Then she opened her texts. There was a thread between Tara and Nick. Her contact name was saved as T, with a red heart. Tara, I told him you were grieving. He bought it. Tara, don't post anything. He's already suspicious. I handed the phone back. My mouth felt dry. Why are you showing me this? Because you're not the one who deserves to be dragged through hell, she said. I'm done covering for him. I already dumped him. I nodded once. Thanks, that was all. We didn't need to bond or trauma share. I paid for both coffees and walked out. Back home, I forwarded the screenshots to Tara. The photos, the texts. I added one line. Tell your mom to stop calling me. 10 minutes later, she called. I let it ring. Then she texted. Tara, you're unbelievable. Jenna? Really? So now you're teaming up with that fake bitch? You ruined everything. I muted her thread and blocked Linda's number. Then I opened my laptop and created a folder. Evidence, Tara. Every file went in there, one by one. The next day at work, I was halfway through my turkey sandwich in the break room when I heard my name echo through the front office. Mike, where the hell is he? Forks dropped, chairs scraped. I stood up and walked toward the lobby, already knowing. There she was, Tara. Hair wild, eyes red, wearing some baggy hoodie and leggings like she just rolled out of bed and rage-walked here. She saw me and lost it. You really think you can humiliate me and just go silent? You think this is normal? People froze. Phones came out. Nobody said a word. I kept my voice low. You need to leave. You ruined my life, she screamed, arms flying. I lied one time. You were never fun, Mike. You just sat on your phone and waited for things to go wrong. Security was already jogging over. I needed excitement, something real. You're a robot. I said nothing. I didn't even blink. Security guards flanked her, trying to guide her to the door. She shoved one of them. Oh, now I'm crazy? This is your fault. I gave you everything. Phones were still recording. I could hear a coworker whisper, "Holy shit." One of the guards finally grabbed her by the elbow. "Ma'am, you can leave on your own or with cuffs." "Your call." Tara yanked away, but she stopped yelling. She looked right at me. "This isn't over." Then they dragged her out. I turned and walked back into the break room, finished my sandwich, then went back to my desk like it was just another Tuesday. By 3 o'clock, the video was everywhere. Slack threads, group chats. Even our intern sent it to me, not realizing it was me in the clip. "Bro, wild day at the office, huh?" My boss called me into his office at 4. He closed the door. "That your ex?" "Yup. You okay?" "I'm fine." He nodded slowly. "You need to file something. A report, a restraining order. Whatever it takes. This kind of thing can escalate. And if it does, I want a paper trail. I'll take care of it." "Good. I got your back. But don't let this drag into the workplace again." I left work early, again, half hoping I could just crash in peace. Instead, when I pulled into the lot, I saw them. Tara, her mom, and her dad, standing there in a polo and khakis like he was here for a barbecue. She spotted me the second I got out of the car. "Mike, wait. Please just listen." Her dad stepped forward. "Mike, son, this is all just a miscommunication. Emotions got the best of everyone. Can we just talk like adults?" "No." Her mom jumped in. "You can't just erase someone over one mistake." I pulled out my phone and hit record. "I'm asking you all to leave right now. If you don't, I'm calling the police." Tara's jaw dropped. "Are you serious?" I looked right at her. Dead serious. Her dad tried again. "Mike, we don't need cops. Let's be reasonable." I dialed anyway, put it on speaker. "Yeah, hi. I've got an ex and her family trespassing. They were told to leave and refused." Tara turned to her mom. "Oh my God, he's actually doing it." Her mom snapped. "This is embarrassing, Tara." They started walking toward their car before dispatch even finished the sentence. I stood on the curb watching them back out and speed off. Then I went inside, locked the door, and printed the video from the lobby. Stapled it to the folder marked, "Evidence, Tara." By the next morning, the real campaign had started. Tara didn't come at me directly. No names, no tags, but her social media exploded with vague, sad girl memes and cryptic captions. Gaslighting is abuse. Healing from emotional manipulation isn't linear. People don't leave toxic relationships, they escape them. She posted a black and white selfie with red puffy eyes and the caption, "When the truth finally comes out and they still blame you." It didn't take long before her orbit started chiming in. Mutuals who barely knew me started reposting her stuff, flooding her comment sections with hearts and "Stay strong, queen" bullshit. One girl even wrote, "You never deserved that kind of pain. He's broken." I didn't say a word, but I started building something. I opened a doc and laid it all out: dates, screenshots, timestamps, voicemails, text logs. I included the flower receipt, the footage from my lobby, the message from Jenna, even the line where Tara admitted, "I lied one time," in the middle of my office. It wasn't dramatic, just factual. Then I looked through the list of people sharing her pity parade and picked 5. Not random ones, friends, the type who had liked our couple photos 2 weeks before all this. I sent them the file directly. No rant, just a message. "You're backing the wrong side. Do what you want, but you deserve context." Silence at first, then the typing dots started popping up. One guy, Evan, replied, "Damn, I didn't know all this. That's messed up." Another sent, "Wow, I feel played." By that night, her momentum started slowing. The comments stopped rolling in. One of the girls even removed a post about survivor strength. The next morning, I saw her Instagram story. Sometimes people flip the script to make themselves feel better. That's okay. I know my truth. Right underneath it, someone had commented, "Is this about Mike?" She deleted it 5 minutes later. Then came the real hit. Tara's friends had planned a whole freedom party for her. Cute flyers, balloons, matching shirts. Someone made a playlist. It was supposed to be the big new era celebration at her friend Marissa's house. I didn't even know it was happening until I got a text from Jenna. "The party's off. People bailed. Apparently Nick dumped her last night." I blinked at my screen. "Wait, seriously?" "Yup," texted her. Told her she's toxic and he's out. Marissa kicked her out of the group chat. That night, Tara called me. didn't text, didn't leave a voicemail, just straight up called like nothing had happened. I picked up. She was crying. "I lost everything, Mike," she choked. "My friends are gone. Nick won't even look at me. Everyone's turning on me. And I know I messed up, okay? I know. But this is hell." I didn't say anything. She sniffled hard. "I'm not asking for another chance. I don't even know who I am anymore." "You figure that out on your own," I said. "Not with me." "Mike, please." I hung up, blocked her number. That night, I poured a drink, sat down, and scrolled through all her old Instagram posts that she hadn't deleted yet. I watched the timeline shift from love to manipulation to victimhood. Then I opened my evidence folder again and backed it all up to the cloud. 3 days after the last phone call, my HR manager called me into her office. She looked serious but calm. "Hey Mike, we got a call from a woman claiming to be your ex. She accused you of yelling at her in the lobby, said you were emotionally unstable and a known manipulator." Her words. I raised my eyebrows. "You serious?" She nodded. "Luckily, we have footage. Full audio. You didn't say a word to her. You stood there and let security do their job. So you're cleared. But we documented everything." "Thanks." She paused. "If she contacts you here again, or escalates, let me know. Legal's ready to step in if it keeps up." I walked out of there and immediately messaged security to grab a copy of the footage again. Backed it up twice. Next came the landlord. I got a call around 6 p.m. "Mike, hey, it's Terry. Weird question, but is there meth in your apartment?" I blinked. "What?" He laughed. "Yeah. Some woman called, said you had unregistered chemicals and a burner phone operation. I told her the only thing you've cooked in the last month is microwave dinners. Just figured I'd let you know she's reaching. Appreciate it. Also," her voice cracked halfway through the call like she was crying, "she's not stable, man. Stay sharp." "Believe me, I am." That night, my mom called me. She was fuming. "I just got off the phone with that little girl you dated." I stood up from the couch. "She called you?" "Damn right she did. Said you were emotionally abusive, that you made her feel worthless." I let her talk for maybe 30 seconds before I shut her down. "What did you say?" I said, "Sweetheart, I raised my son better than you'll ever deserve." Then I hung up. I laughed into the phone. "Love you, Mom. Love you too. Don't let her rattle you." I wasn't rattled, but I was tired. Every time I thought she was done, she tried something else. And then came the letter. No envelope, just folded, tucked under my door like some kind of relationship ransom note. I opened it slowly, already bracing for impact. It was typed, double-spaced, and titled, "6 Terms for Rebuilding What We Lost." I swear to God, she listed them like contract clauses. Weekly safe space talks where I couldn't raise my voice. Full transparency, meaning I'd share my location 24/7. No contact with jealous outside influences like Jenna. A formal apology letter to her and her parents. Couples therapy paid by me. No more posting anything that paints her in a negative light. At the bottom, she signed it like it was a business deal. Tara L. Hoping for healing. I just stood there at my kitchen table, holding the paper, trying not to laugh. She really thought this was going to fix something. I drove straight to Target, bought a cheap black frame, stuck the letter inside, and hung it on the wall above my coffee maker. Every morning after that, I looked at it while pouring my first cup. It reminded me exactly who I'd walked away from and why I wasn't going back. For days after I hung the letter, I got a message request on Instagram. "Ryan, Nick_bro_97, hey man, weird question. Did you and Tara actually date? She said you were emotionally cold and probably gay. Said you barely touched her." I stared at the screen for a solid 30 seconds. Ryan was Nick's best friend. Used to play softball with both of them before things got messy. Instead of replying with words, I took a fresh photo of the framed 6 terms letter on my kitchen wall and sent it. Read. No reply. 2 hours later, I checked again. He'd blocked me. No surprise. If she was bouncing between exes and their friends like a pinball, she was definitely in spiral mode. That weekend, I grabbed coffee with Jenna. We weren't close, but we'd kept in touch since everything went down. I told her about Ryan's message. She didn't look surprised. "She's desperate to stay connected to the same group," Jenna said. "It's all about control. Nick's done, you're done. Ryan's next." I nodded. "She can have him." Jenna leaned in a little. "You're gonna love this. Guess who applied for a job at my firm last week?" I raised an eyebrow. "No way." "Tara." Different last name on the app, but her resume had that volunteer gig at the cat shelter she always bragged about. I flagged it for HR. "You serious?" "Yup." Didn't say anything dramatic. Just forwarded the blog link and your timeline doc. Told them they should be aware before bringing her into the building. I leaned back in my chair. Did they drop her? Didn't even call her. She found out yesterday. That same night, I got a flurry of notifications, private accounts tagging me in vague insults, meme dumps about fake women and jealous exes, and one post from Tara's alt account. It's always the same girls who can't mind their business. I didn't engage. I didn't have to, because the Ryan situation started crashing fast. First, Tara changed her Facebook status to engaged after 5 days of dating him. 5. Then someone from Ryan's family, his cousin, I think, posted a screenshot of a group text. Tara had messaged Ryan's mom introducing herself as her future daughter-in-law. 2 days later, she showed up at Ryan's job with lunch and a framed photo of them from some party. His coworkers posted about it on Reddit under r/insanepeople Facebook. But the real nail in the coffin? She DM'd Ryan's ex, some girl named Lauren who'd moved to Canada last year, and accused her of trying to win him back through psychic energy. Psychic energy. I wish I was kidding. Lauren screenshotted the whole thing and posted it on Twitter. It got over 12,000 likes in one day. 3 hours later, Ryan dumped her. Via Venmo, he sent her $50 with the note, "For the wasted time, please stop calling my mom." She tried to spin it as his betrayal, but nobody was buying it. By Monday, her engagement post was deleted. Her story had nothing but black screens and moody song lyrics. I poured my morning coffee, looked up at the letter in the frame, and took a deep breath. Her spiral wasn't my problem anymore. I was scrolling on my lunch break when I found it. livingthroughlove.net, pastel colors, stock photos of candles and broken teacups, and a big title across the top. My journey out of psychological abuse. It was Tara. I didn't even have to guess. The writing was all her, dramatic, self-pitying, just vague enough to avoid legal trouble but specific enough that anyone who knew us would figure it out fast. She never used my name, but she didn't have to. Sometimes emotional abuse doesn't scream, it gaslights. It ignores. It makes you feel invisible until you don't recognize yourself. Mike, not his real name, weaponized silence and emotional withdrawal. I was never allowed to express how I felt without it turning into a guilt trip. I almost spit out my coffee. At the bottom of the first post, she added, "If you've been through something similar, I see you. I believe you. I'm here." And the comments filled with strangers telling her how strong she was, how brave, how powerful. "Proud of you, girl. Thank you for speaking your truth. Sending love from Nebraska." She had a donate button, a freaking donate button. I screenshotted every page. Sent them to Jenna with one line, "You ready?" We built the site in 2 days. Nothing fancy, just black text on a white background. Therallstory.net. We laid it out by date. Photos, texts, receipts, quotes, short bullet summaries under each one. May, Tara reconnects with Nick. June, claims she needs closure. July, caught lying about mentor death. August, fakes engagement with Ryan. September, blog goes live. We didn't name call. We didn't mock her. We didn't ask for sympathy. We just showed facts. Jenna posted the link in one comment thread under the blog. That's all it took. People started DMing me like wildfire. "Wait, this is what really happened? She said you ghosted her out of nowhere." Bro, that timeline is insane. Within a week, Tara's blog went private. Comments disappeared. The donate button vanished. She made one last post before locking it down. "Haters will always twist your story. Protect your peace." I'm logging off for a while, except she didn't. She started calling people, crying, begging, saying she was misunderstood, that she just wanted to feel seen. Problem was, nobody was listening anymore. Even Nick's parents, who had always been polite to her, blocked her number. I know that because his mom told Jenna directly. "She called us 3 times in one night," she said, sobbing. "We finally had to block her." I could see it all crumbling. The sympathy, the false stories, the little healing journey she'd wrapped herself in. It couldn't hold up against plain truth. One of her old college friends messaged me. I believed her at first. "I'm sorry. I didn't respond. I didn't need to." At the end of that week, I updated the evidence folder one last time with a zip file of her entire blog, in case she tried to spin it later. Then I went back to living my life. I was grabbing eggs at the grocery store when I heard, "Well, if it isn't the guy who killed me with flowers." I turned around, and there he was, Mr. Delaney, alive and grinning. I laughed. "Sorry about that. My bad." He chuckled. "Nah, best bouquet I ever got. Gave me something to talk about for weeks." We chatted for a few minutes, just light stuff, until he shook his head and said, "She still calls the house, you know? asking about Ryan. I blinked. Seriously? She left a voicemail last week asking if I thought he missed her. I haven't seen that boy since Easter. I shook his hand and wished him well. By the time I got to the checkout, I already felt lighter. Later that night, an email came in from an address I didn't recognize. Subject: You won. It was Tara. She wrote, I hope you're happy. You destroyed my life over one lie. One mistake. I had to move back to Ohio. I'm working for my uncle. You took everything from me and made me look insane. I trusted you. I stared at it for a second, then replied with one line. Actions have consequences. 2 minutes later, she sent back, I hate you. I didn't respond. I sat back on the couch, phone face down, and turned my focus to real life. Amanda, this woman from my hiking group, had asked me out the week before. We'd gone on 2 dates, no drama, no games, just a decent person with a good laugh and solid shoes. Jenna texted me that night too. She'd met someone new through work, said he was chill, nothing crazy. That was exactly what we both needed. The chaos had passed. The storm, the screaming, the lies, it was done. Next morning, I poured coffee like usual, looked up at the framed letter above the machine, and smirked. 6 terms, 6 damn terms, still hung there right where I'd put it. Perfect reminder.